We're talking now with Gerhart KLEIN, who's received 2 degrees from Temple University, his undergraduate Bachelor of Science, and also his law degree in 1970. Thanks so much for being here, Jerry. It's nice to see you.
Good seeing you, Amy.
We're going to talk about your journey in communications, journalism, also getting into public relations and law. I guess, how did you, once you graduated from Temple, what was your area of interest? Did you know what you wanted to do?
Well, actually, yes, even before I came. The reason I came to Temple was because I was fascinated by radio. So I looked at the radio curricula around the country at the time and chose Temple because it was a great curriculum. John Roberts was doing wonderful things with the curriculum and with WRTI radio, and it was local. I lived out near Westchester, so even though I lived on campus, I was still very close to home, and the in-state tuition didn't hurt. But I really was fascinated by radio. Got very involved with the radio station WRTI. In fact, became the station manager in my junior year, and I was the station manager when it moved from the basement of Thomas Hall over to brand new at the time Annenberg Hall. So we had some great adventures.
Fantastic. Tell us a little bit about what you do now.
Well, for the last 30 years, I have been in business with my wife in Ann Klein Communications Group. It's a public relations firm here in the Delaware Valley. We're headquartered over in Mount Laurel, New Jersey. And we are a national PR firm with international reach. We've had international connections for the last 20 years through an organization called Pinnacle Worldwide, and more recently through the International Public Relations Exchange. So we specialize in issues and crisis communications, but we actually cover the whole gamut of public relations.
What's the best part about being in that industry?
There's always something new, always something different. One of the reasons I left radio to go to law school, I found that even though the news was changing every day, I was the morning drive editor at KYW News Radio. Even though the news was changing every day, what I did wasn't. So it sort of became boring.
Okay.
And I also knew that as a person on the news side, I would never get where I wanted to be, which was management, because you had to come from sales in order to get into broadcast management. So I talked with my wife, was I going to go to business school or law school? I chose law school, spent 3 years at Temple getting my law degree, then 5 years practicing at one of the large firms in Philadelphia. And then my wife started her business in the meantime, and her business was going well, and we decided that I would join her. And we've been doing that for 30 years.
Oh, fantastic. You have your undergraduate degree from Temple, your law degree from Temple. Looking at those 2 experiences here, in all that you were doing, how prepared did you feel to tackle the work that you were doing because of your Temple education? Oh,
it was a fantastic practical education. The work that I did at undergrad in what was then the School of Communications and Theater, Radio, TV, Film major, that really prepared me for working out in the industry, because the people who were teaching were broadcast professionals. John Roberts, Larry Blenheim, Del Dusenberry, a whole bunch of people who actually came from the industry into Temple to teach. The same thing, I felt I had the same preparation at Temple Law School, because many of the teachers were not just academics, they were practicing attorneys who came in and taught. In fact, I had a big debate with myself and with my wife whether I should go to Penn Law School or Temple Law School. And we asked around. The advice I got was, if you want to become a professor or an ivory tower type, go to Penn. But if you want to practice law, go to Temple.
Jerry, what would your advice be to today's students coming out, particularly at the undergraduate level, who want to work in media and communications?
My advice to any student is be the best you can be. Sweat the small stuff. I grew up, I was raised to try to do the best I could in anything I was doing. And that has really helped me throughout my career, no matter what I was doing. I tried to be the best editor I could be at KYW. In fact, I have people I worked with, 35 years ago, still complimenting me on how good, and I was tough, but I was fair. And they'll tell you, in fact, I was on the air at KYW with Vince Hill a few weeks ago when we took Broadcast Pioneers on a tour there. And he said that on the air. Jerry was my editor, and he was really tough, but he was good. In practicing law, I tried to do the best that I could. And in our public relations business, we have had a slogan for years: good enough is not good enough. So we always try to do the best we can do, and that would be my advice to students. Don't just get by. Be excellent.
I like it. Our new campaign is Temple Made. You have 2 degrees from this university. How are you, Jerry, Temple Made?
Well, as I say, it's given me a great background, first in the communications field, which I still use in public relations, and in the law field, which I still use in public relations. So Temple really prepared me to take on just about every challenge. Everything I do today, there's some part of my education that helps me through that.
Oh, that's fantastic. Thank you so much and for the great advice. We've been talking to Jerry KLEIN, got his degree from the School of Media and Communication in 1970 and his law degree in 1980. Thanks again and congratulations.
Thank you, Amy.